Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today Frontier announced the release date of the PlayStation 4 version of Elite, and that is the 27th of June. Now there seems to be a slight change in plans as to how the game is going to be released. Initially Frontier said that the PlayStation 4 version will include all updates for Elite Dangerous. That's right up to version 2.3, and that 2.4 will be coming at a later date. Now this is still the same, of course, but it would only apply to owners of the Horizons version of Elite on PlayStation. Just like every other platform, the game is going to release with the basic version of Elite Dangerous priced at $19.99, and Horizons Season Pass would be a separate purchase. Of course, you can buy both together. There's the deluxe version of the game, and that will include both the base version of Elite Dangerous as well as Elite Dangerous Horizons. So Frontier are keeping consistent across all platforms on how the game is actually available. Now, pre-orders are available in Europe from today, and in the US they're going to be available from the 30th of May. Unfortunately, there's no news on the 2.4 update, so we're still in the dark as to what that's going to be, but Frontier have always been very clear that 2.4 wasn't going to arrive until after PlayStation 4 version. Now, do keep in mind that it's E3 very soon, so there may be some further announcements of right there. For the first time ever, there is going to also be a physical version of Elite Dangerous. This will be available both for the Xbox One as well as PlayStation 4. It's called the Elite Dangerous Legendary Edition, and that also comes out on the 27th of June. The Legendary Edition will contain Elite Dangerous as well as the Horizon Season Pass, in addition to 1,000 Frontier points to spend on in-game items. Now, I know many people have been looking forward to the PlayStation version of the game, so it's nice to finally have information on when it's going to come out, and it's not all that long away. I've also been asked numerous times as to whether or not I'm going to be playing the PlayStation version, and as I do have one of those consoles, yes, I will be playing the game on that platform, and I'll also be making videos for it as well. Now, interestingly, the PS4 version does have a few unique features, and primarily these are related to control input. As we know, the DualShock 4 controller for the PS4 does have 6-axis control. And what that is, if you're unaware, is that there's an axis bound to rotating the controller itself, as well as tilting it back and forth. Frontier have taken the steps of binding this to headlock, which is going to make headlock in the PlayStation 4 version much easier than on other platforms, unless you've got some sort of head tracking, of course. And what's also going to be interesting is to see whether or not these 6-axis input is going to be bindable to ship control. It's something I'd perhaps like to bind to the lateral thrusters, for example. There's also the potential for trackpad use, which indeed would be a very nice addition. As for crossplay, well, unfortunately that's not going to be a thing. The PlayStation 4 version of the game is self-contained insofar as who you can actually play with. You can only play with other PlayStation 4 players. However, the background galactic data will be shared across all platforms, which means that all information connected to the background simulation will be simultaneously shared across Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC as well as the Mac. Frontier still haven't announced anything for the PlayStation 4 Pro, but they have suggested that it will take advantage of the console's additional power. Now, how that actually translates to the game we don't yet know. It might just simply mean faster frame rates. Additional graphical options though have certainly not been dismissed, as well as a 4K option, so if they are ever available, that would be a very nice touch, and I know a lot of people would certainly appreciate that. So whilst those details remain unknown, history certainly has shown that Frontier like to support as many options as possible, so personally I'd be very surprised if there's not some additional features for both the PlayStation 4 Pro as well as any potential Xbox Scorpio versions. Unfortunately, there's also no information on PlayStation VR. Virtual reality is a huge deal for Elite Dangerous. Anyone who's ever tried it out will know it's one of the best VR experiences you can actually have in a game. It does have very good VR support on the PC, supporting both the Oculus as well as the Vive, and it does so to a very good effect. However, it is very, very demanding on a PC, and I'd imagine it would be equally demanding on a PlayStation 4. So whether or not it will be capable is a question that certainly remains open. But of course, we must remember that there are additional options for the PlayStation. For example, just maybe PSVR would be exclusive to the PS4 Pro version of Elite. Frontier did release a trailer to go along with today's information. However, it is the exact same trailer that we saw for the PS4 announcement. I've got to admit that it does seem a little bit odd to me that Frontier went ahead and uploaded an exact duplicate of that trailer rather than simply linking to the previous version. Who knows what they were thinking there, but perhaps it makes sense to them. We still haven't seen the PlayStation 4 version extensively demoed, but we did see Frontier playing it a little bit during their PAX demonstration in Boston a few months back. And aside from a few glitches due to the fact that it was still early code, it all looked to be running very smooth. So that's where things stand at the moment, and hopefully once they've got the PS4 release out the way, we'll start hearing more details on the future of the game itself. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.